We're down here with Seaton with Tony. Tony's going to explain about the new big belly bins, and yes, that's really their official title. Tony, what can you tell us about the bins?
So the bins work in a way that's slightly different to the old-fashioned style bins. What you do is you place the waste in the bin. The bin reaches a certain level. When it hits that level, the bin kicks in and compacts the waste down, squashes it down, and then obviously people can start putting waste in. When the bin gets about 80% full, so when it hits 80% capacity of what it can take, it sends off a text and an email to the team. The team then respond and come and empty the bin between that period and the bin being full.
Which sounds fantastic, because I'm a big, huge advocate against plastic pollution and, you know, destroying our ocean. So I was really thrilled about this. They do cost a bit of money though, don't they? How much do they cost, and how much do you intend, how many bins are there, and what do you intend to spend in Seaton?
Yeah, so the bins cost 90,000, so there was 15 bins purchased, so they're £6,000 a bin. We see it as an authority, as an investor save. So during the trial period, so before we purchased the bins, we trialed them for a 4-week period during April, May. What that proved to us was that we saved about 75% of time from the old-fashioned style of emptying bins on average 1.5 times a day to what we did during the trial period. So it saved us about 14 hours in terms of that period of emptying the bins during the trial. What that enables me to do is then redirect that resource from emptying bins into grass cutting, to trimming, to litter picking, etc., which then benefits the town more widely. So as I said, from our perspective, the trial was hugely successful. And it's the reason why we undertook the investment that we have.
Well, I know this morning, I mean, it's beautiful and clean in Seaton this morning, and it's just fantastic to see. What happens when you actually empty the bin? Can the general rubbish be separated from the recyclables?
No, not at the moment. As I said, it's just a general waste bin. It's all the waste goes in there. And as I said, it's a waste bin, which is what it's intended to do. It's not one whereby it can be recycled off.
Okay. How far do you plan to roll this out throughout the town?
I think, as I said, what we intend to do is monitor the success of this. We've already had discussions with the supplier around potential other sites across the town. How many bins that would require, what benefits we would get from that, how many bins do we replace, etc. And as I said, the intention of the authority is to look to see how well this works. You know, if it gives us a success that we expect it will, then the intention will be to look at other areas in the town and to start thinking differently. As I said, we believe it's an innovative way of doing things. As I said, it does give us that additional spare capacity. During the trial period, we did have that, the benefit of the team, whereby they were getting 91% efficiency in terms of emptying the bins between the 80% and the full. So as I said, it showed that they were accepting the new ways of working, and you know, fingers crossed, we would like to roll it out across the town in years to come. Okay,
and how does it work? Do people just, you know, pull the handle down and put the rubbish in?
Yeah, so you pull the handle down, you place your waste in, it's a self-closing handle, so the bin shuts back up. The benefits to that, as we know, is you don't get wind-blown litter from open bins, which is what you get. You don't get the seagulls scavenging in the winds because they can't access the bins. So as you said, the wider benefits of keeping Seaton clean and improving the area, it's not just about that, you know, the message of it being a bin. And as I said, it holds a lot more waste. As I said, the old style bins hold about 240 litres. In terms of capacity wise, these hold 800 litres. So you know, fingers crossed they do what we hope they will. And as I said, you know, as I said, it just operates in that way. You put your waste in, it compacts the waste down, and then when it's full, it tells the council when it's full.
Okay. We did get a few pictures last night showing an overflowing bin, but that's probably bound to happen occasionally.
It shouldn't do. As I said, there should be an expectation that the team respond between 80%. So I'd be surprised if we were to suggest there was litter around the bins this early on. Whether it's people haven't pushed them in, whether, as you said, it's put to the side. Obviously, I'm not aware of those pictures, so I can't really comment on those.
How extensive was the study about the success of these bins. Obviously, they're solar operated, so they send a signal back to base to say, hey, we're full.
Yeah.
I know with my solar lights in the garden, they work for a couple of weeks and then they stop. So how comprehensive was this study?
The company, the manufacturer who do these, you can see the size of the solar panel on the top. It's quite large in size in terms of what it does. It actually only uses about a quarter of this in order to do what it needs to do in terms of the compacting and the sending of the electronic information back to the office. So it's got more than enough capacity to ensure that it does what it needs to do in terms of compacting the waste and sending the relevant information back to the teams.
Do you think the cost of these bins will come down? Because some people would argue that the money maybe could be better spent, but if it cleans up the town.
Obviously I can't comment on how much the bins are purchased for in terms of the supplier and the company that manufactures them. When I've spoke to colleagues at other local authorities where these have been installed further south, they've got huge benefits from it. So, and the trial proved that for us. So I can only see it, as I said, as a good thing for Hartlepool and for Seaton.
And so for all the viewers watching on social media, any message to them about the importance of using these bins right from day one?
I think it's the general message of whether you use these bins or any bin, just please put your litter in a bin. That's what the bins are provided for. From our perspective as a local authority, I have to, have a lot of teams out there picking up litter. It shouldn't be the council's job. It's everybody's responsibility to deposit their waste in the receptacles that's provided for them. And that's what I would like to see, and that's what I encourage everybody to do.
I absolutely agree. Put your litter in the bin. Let's keep the planet safe. Tony, thank you so much for spending time, taking the time to be with us today, and let's hope it's a big success.
Yes, no problem. Thank you.
So there you have it, big belly bins. Let's hope they eventually save us money and, more importantly, keep our streets safe from pollution and just clean up the town generally. That would be fantastic. By the way, obviously we're in Seaton at the moment. If you're in any part of the town, the Bruce, any ward, and you have an issue that you want us to cover, or you need publicising, or even just a feel-good story that everybody should know about, just email us. The number's coming up on your screen now, and we'd be happy to try and cover as many stories as possible. So let's rock Hartlepool.